Welcome to a rare episode of Wrestling Reddit where I cover wrestling on Reddit. Wrestling, not WWE, even though that's what it's been predominantly. It could be other things. I am going to have no links down below. Maybe just to the generic WWE Reddit, just to have something fancy in the description box. Best version of Randy Orton. Debut, Evolution, Legend Killer, Bald Authority, The Viper, RK Bro, and The Return. Arguably, I will say The Return is probably the best version of Randy Orton. I think he's the healthiest he's ever been, the biggest. Not that this necessarily means it's the best. I also like the Bald Orton. This is kind of the look I'm trying to go for, seriously. And I'm on my way there, decently, to look like this one. What I liked about RK Bro a lot is with Riddle, legitimately, he even said it himself on shoot interviews, that it was some of the absolute most fun he has ever had in his whole life in the business of wrestling. So I think a lot of us would agree that we saw that in him. So I would probably argue that these two here are probably the best. The RK Bro turn. You see what I did there? That was me again trying to be funny. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it pans out. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay, I wanted to make sure I'm still like in the view there. Not that it's exciting to look at this, but let's carry on. How long do you think Braun Strowman has left? Loved last night's match, but I feel like he's getting slower on his feet every week. He seemed to genuinely struggle with his leg, especially when trying to run the ropes and shove Bronson into the chairs. Or am I just missing something and he's selling really well? Well, he pulled his groin. For real. Very early on in the match. Looks like he may have put on a couple of pounds. Not shaming. An observation. I think he's doing fine because personally, this whole thing with Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed, the two behemoths, they have been putting on a banger of a clinic. A clinic of a banger. They've been doing exceptionally well, in my opinion. The backstage, the in the ring, the antics. Strowman off the top ropes onto everybody, causing like a 5.0 on the Richter scale. Out in the parking lot, off of like the cement railing or whatever, onto cars and stuff. And it's really good and it's fluid. It doesn't feel telegraphed. Like when you look at that story that they've been building, for me, I think he's actually been one of the main highlights in recent history. Honestly, and there's no title match involved. There's no actual deep storyline. Just Reed has been using his tsunami to bruise people. And Strowman came back and said, hey, I'm big too, and I'm going to put you in your place. And it's been a spectacle for me personally. As to answer the question, nobody knows, but I think he's got a good couple of years left in him before maybe he decides to retire. But I very much enjoy him, and it'll be interesting to see if somehow he gets pulled into the whole Wyatt thing for obvious reasons, because he was part of the original Wyatt family. Right? So yeah. I'll go ahead and say it. These are not my posts, by the way, just to be clear. I'm bored of the Terror Twins versus the Judgment Day already. They're not bored of the Judgment Day. They're not bored of the Terror Twins. They're bored of the two of them against each other. Super big fan of Damian Priest, and I really hope he goes much further in the business because he truly deserves it. I'm also a big fan of Grand Slam Finn Balor. But this stable thing he's got going on, ain't it? I'd like to see him go solo or be a separate tag team with JD. JD's phenomenal, but I don't see him being a single star. True. I see him being really good in a tag team that could hold the belts legitimately, but the Judgment Day title reign was I kind of forget it even happened. It just feels so played out, and now I don't even know why. When Rhea came back and ran Liv off of Raw, it was a renewed interest, but now that a couple of weeks have gone by, I really hope that they wrap it up soon. Carlito's just there, literally, I don't even know what to say about him. I don't know what to say about Dirty Dom either, because I think he was kind of carried by this whole mommy thing he's got going on. What does he have after this? Like, seriously, what does he do after this? Damien Priest, though, that's my guy. Okay. Yeah, so I get where this person's coming from. I am getting bored. I don't know if bored's the right word. Not bored of it. I'm wanting it to come to an end. I don't want it to get dragged out like the Bloodline storyline. I think they should move on. Rhea and Damien do their own thing and whatever, and once in a while have a little crossing of the path with the Judgment Day. I really like Carlito, so I have an emotional investment there. I got to see a bit of him, like personally, and for me, because of that, I feel like I'm maybe being a little bit biased. I think he's great. He's kept an amazing ring shape. He was on the Indies for a while, then he came back. The whole Puerto Rico thing with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, and that gave him a huge pop. I think for me, even though a lot of people felt like Carlito was getting stale being a face, I think he should have remained a face. But now that they made him go heel, that's fine, but I feel like he should have been doing a bit more. They're not having him do a lot. He's kind of just there. I don't mind that he's just there. I don't mind that he's there, sorry. But I mind that he's just kind of there, not doing much. He could be doing more, and he's not. But that's not on him. That's completely up to creative there. Dom has done so well for himself. It is absolutely ridiculous. He has worked more matches than practically everybody. He's just getting flung around. He's a workhorse. He really, really is. He's no longer just Rey Mysterio's son. Like, he's really holding it down for himself, and I'm so proud of him for that. Yeah, in the beginning, I feel like the Judgment Day helped to catapult Dom to new heights. I'm not saying he couldn't have done it on his own. It's like anybody else, really. If you look at somebody like Karrion Kross, in my humble opinion, who is a total package, in my opinion. But if you don't have the creative team behind you to do that, you can't showcase it. Look at Cody Rhodes. I think he's one of the greatest things that's ever been presented to us in wrestling history. But in the beginning, let's not remember. Let's not forget. Let's not long forget. I'm French, okay? Let's not long forget that not long ago, Cody Rhodes was arguing with The Rock about his caterpillar on his face, the dead caterpillar, the mustache thing. How he went from that to Stardust, which I thought was great personally, and all that stuff. And then when he was with Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase Jr. And I always thought, yeah, he's pretty good. And I just, no offense, never knew that he had this triple A persona to him. It's like, where did this come from? Great in the ring, great on the microphone, very Shakespearean-like in his promos, never misses. It's just unbelievable. And it's not that I doubted his ability. I just did not know he could do that well. And I truly believe Karrion Kross is somebody that, given the opportunity, could Cody Rhodes himself. Right? I got carried away, but that's the beautiful thing about my videos, is they're meant to kind of go all over the place. So for me, Dom, I think, has reached a height now that is just way up there, that it doesn't matter what else he does, aside from this whole thing with the Terror Twins. I see Terror Wins. I was like, what, the Terror Twins? Typo there. I think he's going to do just fine, honestly. As long as creative has something for him that's half decent, I think he's going to be just fine. That's just my thought. Pure Fusion Collective. Pardon the language, but this has to be the worst effing thing on TV right now. Zoe Stark should get a push. The other two are just cringe. Now, there's a lot of mixed emotions in here. Or, not mixed emotions, conflicting opinions in here. I think the name is absolutely donkey balls ridiculous. Sonya Deville, with all due respect to her, I missed when she was part of the the thing with Adam Pearce where she was part of the managerial stuff. In the ring, with all due respect, I'm not saying she's terrible. I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. Shayna Baszler is one of those people that do well in the ring. She's a legitimate badass, kind of like a Ronda Rousey in that respect, right? She doesn't have to be great on the microphone, right? Which was something that Ricochet lacked. He wasn't good on the mic, but he was amazing in the ring. He was absolutely amazing. He still is amazing. He's just not in WWE. Not everybody can be the triple threat, right? Not everybody can be an amazing wrestler, an amazing person on the mic, and then cutting promos, that is, and then doing, let's say, commentary. Not everybody can be CM Punk. Not everybody can be Drew McIntyre. So, for me, out of the three, I do agree that Zoe Stark, for a while, when she was kind of like face there and she was doing singles, she's a legitimate badass. I would actually like to see a good feud between Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. I really would like to see that, because I see some other women that are thrown into the mix, and I'm just kind of like, not to be rude, but I'm just like a little awkward, a little too telegraphed, which some people feel about Zoe Stark. I don't really get that impression. I think she's doing absolutely great, and she's going to improve. She has a lot less room for improvement than a lot of other people, in my humble opinion, that have recently come up on the main roster over the last couple of years. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. And again, it's nothing against Sonya Deville. I'm sure she's a wonderful person. Again, I always feel like I got to defend myself. This is always from a scripted perspective. It's never personal. And if it is, I would say it. Like when I had a real life beef with Ryback. That was actually kind of funny. And then that got squashed. So grateful for that. Well, because it's just nice to be able to move on from stupid stuff, is my point. So that's that. The last thing I want to talk about, because I actually didn't know this. So on Raw, we saw Gunther say, you know what, you finally have your match. And I was thinking, great, awesome. So at Bad Blood, this is going to be cool. But this isn't for Bad Blood. The championship match is for next Monday Night Raw. Along with the Yeet Master and Xavier Woods. That's my favorite hairstyle for Xavier Woods, by the way. Not that that matters. I'm kind of blown away. Not in a bad way. I want to express that. I just caught off. Oh, what happened there? Because Bad Blood is so close, I thought we were saving this spectacle for Bad Blood. Does that mean that Gunther's just going to, well, not squash, but like trample through Zayn, and then it's going to be somebody else? Remember we saw Braun Breaker saying you're going to be seeing me sooner than later? Could we have him already chase that World Heavyweight Championship? I don't know. I can't predict the future. I just know that with the historical reign that he had with the Intercontinental Championship at 666 days, don't forget, this is the man that beat him. And for me, it's believable. He could have beaten Roman Reigns as well. Yes, he looks like a bum, but I love him. It's Sami Zayn. And I love Gunther. But now we look at, why did they do this? Maybe it's because we don't often have a title change hands. So I have, I'll put a link to credit this article here. This is the last 10 times I think that the World Heavyweight Championship has changed hands on Raw. Big E defeating Bobby Lashley, September of 2021 on Raw. Lashley defeating The Miz on Raw, March of 2021. McIntyre defeated Orton on Monday Night Raw in November of 2020. Lesnar destroys Kofi Kingston on SmackDown's 20th anniversary of October 4th, 2019. Daniel Bryan defeats AJ Styles in 2018 in November. A lot of Novembers. What is going on with all the Novembers? November, December. Oh, July, summer thing. November. Oh my God, it's a conspiracy. They're going to do it. They're going to do him dirty. It's a November thing. I don't know. But this is the list of, I don't know if it's the only 10 or the last 10, or if there's been a few here and there, but this would be for the men's division, the heavyweight championship, and on Raw. Maybe they're having it on Raw because potentially he could win it. And then that gives hope that, you know what? Gunther isn't always going to have the title for these monstrous amount of days. And it's going to give to the unpredictability that, you know what? Not everything just switches on a PLE. Right? I don't even know if he's booked, to be honest with you, at Bad Blood. I don't know. Because I kind of forget when Bad Blood is, to be perfectly honest with you. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. Maybe you could comment down below. 15 minutes. Yeah, that's definitely enough. Which is why I only did a couple of articles there. So yeah. I have no idea what's going on. But I was more surprised, like I said, with this only because I thought it was for Bad Blood. I think it's kind of... The only reason I think it's bizarre, just to clarify, is because we're so close to a PLE. What's going on at the PLE with him? I'm very curious now. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel. With the algorithm, thumbs down if you didn't like it. I'll bend it in half, twist it. You'll get the Solo Sakoan Spike right in the derriere. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally, that'd be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. Let me know down below what you think. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.